Kilda, you're currently running at super speed through London. As a storyteller, I want to know, how worried are you about the Masquerade at the moment?
Worried still. Like it's the case that he's not just sprinting down, this boulevard or high streets or anything. But what he'll be doing is that he'll be rooftop jumping, basically. So that'll be out of most modern people's eye line because we don't look up.
Yeah.
And generally out of most of the cameras. And, he'll know some of the local area. He's traveled between the Kairos mansion and his place numerous times. So he'll have part of his mind on that, but he's really going as the crow flies. So if that takes him over a particularly well-traveled area, then that takes him over that well-traveled area. And if someone looks up and sees him, there are hundreds of people, then he doesn't care right now.
Just for the sake of it, can you give me a dex and stealth, and you can add your celerity?
Dex?
You currently have fleetness on.
Oh, I don't have much stealth. I have some. But I get to add celerity, and I'm still drinking vampire blood recently.
And you are right. Most people don't look up, and cameras generally don't point that way either.
Big dice pool, actually. 4 successes.
4. I'll keep that in mind. Well, let me see how fast you're actually going here. 3 to 5, that's about 50 kilometers an hour you're running right now. And jumping as much as possible, trying to avoid people's gaze. Maybe if the camera sees you, it's going to be 1 frame, but that's about it.
In some ways, passing closer to it's better.
But you get to Redbridge, next to the kiosk with the glowing flower in the window. It's a lamp, and you definitely feel something from below. Some immense power. You've heard Arishat's voice before, and this is definitely her. But you don't actually know the way in, but you do know that Nemesis is probably aware that you're here.
Yeah. He's got his bag with him, right? He's managed to pick up his supplies. Cool. Well, one of the first things he's going to do then is he's going to get out his radio, turn on his radio, contact the team, and he's also, whilst he's doing that, he's going to get out some road flares. And he's going to light up some of these shadows just to make sure that things are not going to jump out of him at anything so close that he can't react with celerity.
The red light pushes the shadows back, and you can see the alley clearly. And you know that, well, at least she's not gonna jump out at you from right next to you.
Yeah. And he looks up. He is the guy who is prepared and does check every angle, and so he also, does look up and make sure that she's not lurking.
Well, she does not seem to be in the area. You kind of feel like a trembling below the ground. Very faint, but it's there.
Okay. With the radio out then, he'll be chiming in and seeing if anyone kind of picks up or if they're all busy.
I'll leave that up to the rest of you. Are any of you near the satellite phone or the radio to hear the call?
Define near.
Do you have it on you, or?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess he would have that on him. or near his person. Yeah.
When you hear Killjoy calling out through it.
He's going to respond. Yes.
Oh, thank you. How close are you behind?
Still back at the place.
Oh, who'd you send to tail me then?
Oh, you know, just have eyes on you, just concerned, that's all. You know.
Well, I expect I might need that backup, so.
Okay. And you have it. Like it's there for you. It's not really anything that I need to authorize or anything. It's been authorized, so.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Darius appears right next to you, Killjoy, because you can hear the conversation.
Yeah.
He does still like fucking flinch. It's like, backup has arrived.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're welcome. How much more backup do you think you need?
I'm aiming to have a conversation.
Okay.
Things don't always go to plan when they're thrown together at the last minute.
I guess what I'm saying is, should I be on my way to this conversation? Or is the backup you have sufficient?
Do you have somewhere else you need to be?
I have many places I always need to be.
My prince?
You need backup.
You hear
I'll have it
Darius'
sorted.
voice, Alex. And he say, I'll call if I need more help.
Okay. I'll be standing by.
Victor in the background, Alex is doing some, trying. With the chicken bones.
Alex is going to make preparations to get on his way there. He's not going to, he's going to be discreet about it, but he's approaching the situation cautiously in terms of like the information he has and everything. He doesn't want to find himself ass deep in it, before everything goes sideways. So it's just one of those things where he's kind of making preparations to make sure the situation is contained, and he's approaching that way, so that he's kind of not going to find himself taken by surprise there.
I'm gonna make just 2 rolls here. Darius looks down. He says, I can see warding, but I can't see through it.
What kind of warding? For us or for others?
Looks like a huge room. I just see walls. Well, the ceiling, rather. It's dome-shaped.
Does that sound like the underground station?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that will be it. How far below?
Wow. 10 meters or so. It's hard to gauge. I don't see a way in though. How do you usually get there?
She brings me in and out. But we're not looking to invade a haven right now. We're looking to avert disaster and have a conversation. If you want a conversation, that is, Arishat.
Nemesis appears from the edge of the red light down the alley. Still, I don't know the range of a flare, but it's quite large. Simply, she's smiling from ear to ear, looking very proud of herself. She says, Killjoy, so nice of you to join. Who's your friend?
He's not a friend.
No, he's the sheriff.
Correct. I'm sure you two will become friends.
Oh, he's Camarella's scum, so I doubt it.
Exactly. Do you want to kill him?
Why would I?
I don't know. You're a loose cannon. Do you want to kill him?
Not right now.
You're probably safe then. I'll say to him.
He is just staring. You can see him, his body is tense, so he's ready.
Look, Nemesis. I think we just need to talk and have a bit of a conversation. I want to try and put you at ease.
Shall we go downstairs then?
I like being here, where I am free to leave. You know me, I'm cautious.
I intend no harm for you.
Intentions can be misleading. The best intentions pave the way to hell. And a visit to the underworld, as literal as this, is not one that I'm deigning to undergo. I think it would be better if we had a talk here. And as we're talking, I would please like to activate the power I got recently, which is dementation. And I'd like, just as I continue to talk to her, just my voice to creep into her and begin to set her more and more on edge and more creeped out. And I'm just going to keep this conversation going for a fucking while until it eventually hopefully overcomes her.
Do the rouse?
Yeah.
Your difficulty is 4.
So I get a little bit of hunger, and then I'm doing manipulation plus dominate. Manipulation. Dominate. I can just add it as a, if I do no secondary attribute and add it as a modifier. That'll work. I'm also going to pump, actually, which adds 2 dice?
Yeah.
Nice. Ooh, I'm going to use some willpower on that. I do not want a bestial failure on this. And hopefully we get one more success, so 4.
4. Just on it. Well, you start talking and you see her, she's blinking, and then she's grabbing the bridge of her nose like she's getting a headache. And she looks at you, says, "Stop doing that."
Talking?
No, you're not.
I look at Darius like I'm talking to a madman. I go, yes, I am. And I'm not going to stop talking. Because we have a conflict that needs to be resolved. And you and I both know how that would be resolved right now if we used physical means rather than verbal.
If you want to talk, we can go downstairs.
I want to talk, and I'm going to talk here. You can continue to listen. Or, unfortunately, the system that I'm currently serving will attempt to sever you. And that's unfortunate for us both. Why don't you do me a favor? Blood calls to blood.
She says, "It's none of his business," and looks at Darius.
Nemesis, I don't want you to suffer here.
Suffering is for the mortals. Not gods like us. You have eye contact at the moment, right?
Yeah, yes.
You do an intelligence and resolve.
Yes. Would my unswearable mind come in here?
Definitely.
That's good and bad. Come on. 3.
6. She looks into your eyes and says, come over to me and go downstairs with me. And you feel compelled to do so.
Very well. Darius, stay here.
She stretches out her arm to grab your hand.
I take it willingly.
And you go poof. Well, the room looks different. The altar is glowing red from the bowl, the silver bowl, and there are this black and red smoke rising from it. The whole ceiling is just one thick layer of this, well, smoke-looking thing. Into the altar is, it looks like coins, silver coins, 5 of them infused into the stone. There's a book in front of the statue, and you see there's something has been made that, well, you know her plans. It looks like something where you can slot a sword in to the altar. She is smiling at the, well, when she looks at it and stretches her arms out. You hear whispers coming from the altar.
You've been busy.
I managed to summon her spirit.
Yes, her spirit. And he puts sunglasses on. Look, I didn't particularly like the gentleman up above us. I figure that you don't either.
Well, he's camp scum.
Do you want to kill him? This time it's more of an offer.
I don't see any need to. It will become increasingly harder to get close to the prince if I'm blood hunted.
Yes, I know. Just tempting, isn't it?
I have something more tempting. There's 11 Methuselahs sleeping below London. We can claim their souls. Imagine it. Imagine how it would taste. Old blood like that. And right now they're not. They're at their weakest point. Because they've been sleeping for a long time. We can pick one. We can even share him. Or her.
You see, Killjoy's fangs come out. He's nervously rubbing his hands. His tongue is scraping the back of his teeth. He's breathing. And he's, oh my goodness, so tempted by this possibility. Unbelievably already. What do you mean 11 Methuselahs here? Where?
Where you released them, Oregon. There are 11 other sarcophagi.
I don't understand. This world's been around for a while. Someone will have harvested them, surely. The Sabbat would have found them.
Well, it seems like you guys stumbled on to them by accident. And when I, taxied you out of there, I also found the way in. And I can go there again. Through the shadows.
What is to stop us?
Stop us?
Stop us.
Nothing, we're gods. I keep telling you that.
You keep saying it doesn't make it true.
the truth is whatever you believe it is.
I believe I'm Bill Clinton.
I believe we can arrange that with the right Shimishi.
It doesn't make it true now. It means that when you prepare and make a plan and then enact the plan, that you can make your wishes become truths, but that is different to saying that we are gods.
We simply need to plan how to assume godhood. And diabolizing a couple of Methuselahs will help that immensely. Nothing in this city will be able to rival our power, especially if we stand together. And if we manage to summon our antediluvians, that will help even further.
Isn't this what Gehenna is?
Superstition. Gehenna is... well, all religions have their version of apocalypse, but I don't think it has anything to do with caitiffs or thin bloods. When I was embraced, I was put in charge of a gate to hell with my fellow horsemen. We could have started what you call Gehenna, but we did not. Would it have been apocalyptic, or simply another great threat, like when the Ravnus antediluvian woke? It didn't kill the whole world.
And I need time to think.
We have time. I'm in no rush. I still need the sword to physically get her here. But her power is with us.
That can be arranged if necessary. It's frighteningly easy, however. That can be arranged.
But for now we keep a low profile, play the game. We wait for the right moment. We can diabolize these people, and then we have the power to do exactly as we want. I think there's only one of them we can't touch, otherwise the Morrigan might be a bit angry if we destroy her husband.
Yes.
There's one of each clan. Well, almost.
You know, my sire was obsessed with things similar to this. Obsessed with the power of our clan. She knew all of this lore. All of the stories. Cain was caitiff, she said.
Pure of blood.
And tainted.
Just like Asanil. Well, some would call him Barley, but they're wrong.
Yes, if we were to do this, I would not trust myself or you. I would want more. I would want my sire there.
Do you have any way of contacting them?
If I get a good enough blood hunt called, she will come.
Well, find us a target then.
I'm looking at one.
No, dear cousin. You're too fond of me.
Huh. I would never quite catch you, but that would be fine.
Also, I'm your direct line to Ascension.
You wouldn't be caught. One of the only people capable of catching you is upstairs.
Sure.
Okay, that's good to know. So who are you afraid of? The Hakata?
I'm afraid of nothing.
Who's this potential threat to you? The Hakata?
Mithras. Roger de Camden. But I feel like they're just playing Camarilla games as well.
Probably.
Perhaps the Prince of Dublin, she's quite old as well. Bruja. But I've sent a message to my fellow horsemen, they will be arriving. All 3 of them.
When?
Well, they have always been fickle, so I don't really know. The Bruja is the one I trust the most, but the Gangrel is simply a dog, and the Malkavian is quite mad.
Malkavian. That would be interesting. Where?
Oh, they're currently residing in Copenhagen, but they'll be here.
Cheery place.
It's okay.
And this did not go as I expected.
It's definitely better than here. It's controlled by Anak Barons, so they're easier to deal with. I've even considered talking to Gabriel.
I much prefer the system. It is an easier thing to become a part of, and therefore be invisible within.
Well, you have what you deserve and what you can hold. Well, not what you deserve, but what you worked for.
Exactly.
It seems like I have given you a lot to think about.
Yes. Well, Nereus will need updating that you are not planning anything anytime soon. That you have been dissuaded.
I simply made an altar to practice my religion.
Of course. There is a unique bit of shadow hidden in my haven that you will probably be able to access if I set it up right. If you need to come and visit me, you can.
Tell me when, and I'll show up.
Yes, yes. You play a dangerous game, and you have altogether too much pride.
Maybe that will be my downfall.
I hope so. Send me back.
She grabs you, and you appear in the red light outside or on the edge of it.
Is Darius even there?
Oh, he's not visible.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It's fine. I grab the bag and start walking.
Jumps back into the shadows. He appears when she's gone. So, anything to worry about?
Well, she was able to mesmerize me, and then she had a frank conversation in which I urged not to intimidate her, but instead simply explained that it's in her interest to wait.
With?
Her obnoxious plan.
Which is?
For me to report to the prince.
Okay.
You can be there when I do.
Tomorrow night then. Before we head out for Blackmore. Maybe. Or after. We needn't worry the prince with matters that are not immediate dangers. I believe he has enough on his mind.
No, and I also need whatever the equivalent is of either a stiff drink or an ample reward for talking down a megalomaniac.
I'm sure you'll be handsomely rewarded. The prince is gracious.
Can you do that forgetful thing?
I do not have the powers of domination, no. I believe Victor can, though.
Well, it'll be too late by then. Even I can't run that fast. Yeah, well, you're useful for some things, I suppose. And that's why I like you. He lies. And he'll walk off.
Darius disappears. Is there anything you want to do before we time skip?
Have a real life amount of time to think about all of this. But no, all good.
Sure thing. Everyone needs to do a rouse.
Yay.
This is my favorite thing to do.
Success, success, success. Hunger gain. I think that's the first time.
I think it is too. His beast has slept so long.
I think that...
That's
Hey,
our
And of course,
goal.
Fawn has a hunger game.
We're
He's
back,
always
baby.
hungry.
3 hunger.
I'm like high at 1. Like, I swear I'm most of the time on like 0.
Yeah. For reasons.
Benefits of low humanity. Oh, actually, storyteller, can I get a stain? I totally just violated one of my convictions.
Of course. Which one?
Yeah. Whoops.
You're the only player I know that would ever ask for one of those. The integrity here is on display.
Is it the second one?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Slammed that. Oh, and also the Chronicle Tenet, potentially.
No, don't worry.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Whew.
If you open the gate, then we had to talk about it, yeah. Well,
Good fun.
Well, you are going to gather. Is there anything anything quick people want to do before hunting? A quick pick up some items or anything that's not a prolonged meeting with someone?
I'd like to hunt real quick, if that's alright.
Do the roll.
Same.
Do the roll.
I'm gonna put it's right if I use awe as well to get 2 extra
Definitely.
dice. Thank you.
JK4, you go back to 1. There's plenty of corpses in your area for some reason.
How strange.
This flu seems quite aggressive.
Whoops.
Even though
Storyteller?
news.
Oh my god, are you serious?
You
First of all,
wanna
on roll.
you wanna reroll
What's-
some of those?
9
Hey,
dice,
what-
2 successes.
I would actually. I don't know what's happening. No, it's just feeding so I can live. Okay.
That curse is back.
What happened? All right. Oh, I roll a 3, right? Reroll 3.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
4.
4 total.
Definitely enough. And with a 4, they are also buzzed. So you're in a good mood.
Hey. Storyteller is kind. So may I take off 2 points of hunger?
You go back to 1, yes?
Okay, thank you.
Naomi, you had something you wanted to ask?
Yeah, if you don't mind. So where is Naomi right now?
You imagine you're at home. Either that or at Victor's. Or I don't think you're going to JK's at the moment, but he has brought you some blood, as he promised.
Yep.
And also your black market thing arrived. So your fridge is full for once again.
That's fantastic.
Of lovely Capri Suns.
So many. So she, for an exchange, she puts the cash on the table, and also cleans JK's shoes really quick. But yeah, she looks at Alex's text and is like, looks around and be like, okay. And that's it.
I was just wondering what the text was, but yeah, I saw.
That's fair. Basically, he's like, hold the position, do not engage. Safety is the question. It's like, what do you mean, sir? Prince?
I didn't know where that was going, so I thought, yeah.
Are you staying home?
No, she wants to figure out, regroup with everyone because she has quite a bit of questions, but she'll do it on their time. She'll just be available whenever everyone gets together.
Well, you know you have to leave for Blackmore.
Okay.
And if you want to get there, I mean, I don't know the actual time of the drive, but it's not that far away, but it's probably going to take a couple of hours. So
Oh, okay.
every hour of the night is important.
Yeah.
Unless you guys decide to change your timetable at the meeting, but at least
Would it be wise to get there as soon as possible?
according to the sheriff, yes.
Okay. Taxi would be expensive. Can I ask our prince for
You want to get picked up by a limo?
yeah.
Yeah. Are you sending one, Alex?
It's like, what do I look like? An Uber service here?
Well, if you want-
seems like the Toreador Primogen is being fancy tonight.
Yeah.
he will make a quick call to Mr. Harris and be like,
Right away, sir.
yeah,
Like a
the
BMW
Primogen-
is fine.
The
if it's gonna be
Primogen,
a
she needs transport. Can see to that.
Speaking of Mr. Harris, your security personnel has increased.
Good.
Almost doubled.
We need it.
Since his initiation and his new education.
Can't get enough of that security.
And they are also,
Feeling very secure right now.
weirdly enough, all of them are carrying around pointed wooden objects. Even though they don't know why. So. But people gather. And are escorted to the appropriate meeting room by Darius. Adrian is attending the Primogen and Henry. Obviously, Victor and Darius is there as well. And Nera is, well, in owl form, but she's there, sitting on the back of the chair, always listening, paying attention, ready for counsel. And but Gabriel is not there. So it's the Primogen Council and Sheriff and Warlock. And of course, the last person to enter the room is Alex. Always busy, busy, busy.
Indeed. I was hoping to have a few meetings before this meeting, but who has time?
Oh, Regina Blake is obviously there as well.
Thank you everyone for gathering tonight. I believe we have we're going on a little adventure tonight to take care of a very big impending problem, a threat to our praxis and city. Not just that, but a threat to pretty much all the kindred way of life here in London. I speak, of course, of Blackmore and Sabbat, infiltration into London, a threat to the Masquerade, and that threat needs to be dealt with promptly and swiftly and decisively. And that's why we're gathered here, to make our move on that and deal with that threat as much as possible tonight and in the following nights before our Elysium in a couple weeks occurs, so that we can make the city safe for that Congress of Kindred to occur, as well as, of course, for ourselves here in the city. And then he is going to look to his left and right, to Darius, as well as to Killjoy, as well as to Victor and Naomi and the rest of the coterie, and say, we have had preparations that we have discussed previously. I hope that those preparations are being put into motion along with all the other initiatives that we have on the table here. But this is the one we are concerned with most tonight in dealing with. So I would like to hear our progress on that situation, just for everybody's information in the room here.
Well, as you say, we do have multiple plans in action, fail-safes thereof. I have a driver on standby, for one, ready to close the motorway should any attempted retaliations via the Second Inquisition and capture any of our people, or indeed any supernaturals. So that should not be an issue. I have also brought an assortment of rounds or any ammunition and gunfire that may be needed.
Excellent.
Aside from that, I am loath to say that I am relatively unprepared in any specific details, but I am prepared in a more generalistic sense.
This has been a rapid, truncated timetable that we're on, so...
Yes. So to strike with surprise is perhaps worth this setback.
Indeed. Time itself can be an advantage. Darius, do you have something to add?
Well, as I've said before, I believe if we take out the perimeter before the rest of them notice, we should have a huge advantage. But it's all about speed here. We need to move fast. If the pack regroups, well, it's gonna decrease our odds significantly.
Of course. Of course.
Lady Blackmore has a number of ghouls. Well, they're not. Well, they are, but it's Vost and Shalatha, or however you pronounce it. It's not. They're monsters. They're not They can't be negotiated, they can't be dominated, they can't be manipulated. They're essentially monsters. And we also need to keep in mind that these are Sabbat. They do not care about our rules. They do not care about the Masquerade. I believe our best approach is to go there swiftly, bait out the gangrel. Nera will locate him faster than any one of us. It should give us an advantage. Otherwise, we should just expect them to be full of pride and take advantage of that. If they think they can take us all by themselves, that's going to be a huge advantage. If there's any way to make us appear in fewer numbers than we can, that's also a good thing. But if we can take out the perimeter and move directly for Lady Bethany Blackmore, that should be the plan. Before the Bruja and the La Sombra shows up. Because they are the heavy hitters of the pack. The gangrel is no joke either, but he's more primal.
I believe last meeting, it was mentioned that Adrian had some connections to the traffic controllers.
She says definitely.
And you're good with that part of the plan as well?
Well, they're not
making sure
there's not a lot of roads into the city, but I can definitely have them closed.
Okay, good.
For well, the mortals in the village won't be able to get out, and people won't be able to get in.
My hope is to isolate this gangrel, take him out, and then move swiftly from there. Many against one. I don't care how strong he is. He doesn't stand a chance. Make it look like an accident. He's going to look over to Victor and Darius. And he says, I know that I've talked to others that are able to do this, but I expect you two to be working on this as well. Or at least make it look like a Second Inquisition attack. Someone other than us. In any
so
case,
that when we can make them disappear. And he looks at JK.
Yeah. The optics on this are critical. I really want this to be pulled off in a way that redirects our two enemies more towards each other.
Henry puts his hand up.
Yes.
Concerning Angelin, I have like two things in motion right now. I can either make them fucked completely off or have them there. I can divert their attention to something else or make them show up. I'm not sure which one is the better option here. Do we want peace and quiet to do what we came to do, or do we want them to interfere? It's going to be a deliberate Masquerade breach if they are there, but, well, they already know about us.
They already know about us. They're the ones that always know about us. So there is no Masquerade breach there.
At best, they serve as chaos. And as police to the public.
We are taking the fight to their turf. And I think a little chaos on their turf would be good. I want the timing to be perfect. Don't want them to interfere, except when it's to our advantage. So, not there before us, not there with us, but they're just enough for us to disappear without a trace.
I was thinking of if they are led to believe that there's something inside the village itself, they might keep the attention of the La Sombra and the Bruja.
Excellent.
I don't know if they're actually going to do anything to them, but it's going to have their attention.
Yeah, they need just enough reason and inclination to cause the situation for our opponents here to be more difficult than it normally would be. I want them focused on too many things. I don't want them focused just on us. I don't want us to have to take the full brunt of that. And if they happen to eliminate each other a little bit in the process, why, that'll just be too bad for both of them.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. So, and they will have their own targets should either side survive. So I suspect they won't walk away from that with anything less than bad blood. So it will be an enduring challenge for each of them that will keep them plenty busy for us to manage whatever other elements happen to be redirected our way.
In that case, he opens a briefcase bag, or shoulder bag rather, and puts out a few photos on the table of monstrous-looking blurry creatures.
Fantastic.
I think that will get their attention if I send that their way and hint to where they are. Obviously not the mansion itself, but Blackmore is a village.
Henry, you are a credit to your clan.
I'm glad to hear it. Adrian, she is scratching her chin and saying, maybe we can do something, you and I, Henry, and combine the efforts of the traffic control with antigen and create more, well, chaos, as you say.
I think that would be good.
He's nodding. And Darius, he looks around and says, so who's fighting and who's backup?
You will need substantial backup wherever the prince is.
Victor is looking at the prince and saying, I should probably stick by his side if the sheriff intends to fight.
If things go awry, of course, you have the swiftest means of transportation. We've seen it before. I like having that card in my back pocket there.
I have a few rituals I need to do on everyone.
Yeah.
In case I need to light my arms on fire, it wouldn't be good for you all to frenzy.
No, it would not. I mean, I personally deal with pyrotechnics all the time, but you know. So, anyways, I would like to have Darius there as well. I intend to go with the coterie. I believe this needs to be seen through, and I want to be part of that.
Darius, he asks, do I have your permission to engage the gangrel as soon as I spot him? I believe like a swift thing where we all are very...
Confirm with me when he's spotted, and I'll give you the go-ahead.
I hear that. Victor is pulling out a chalice. He starts mumbling shit, pouring blood into it. Going around the table first and touching every one of you on the forehead. The blood disappears into your skin. And he explains after, what this is gonna do is calm your beast in case of fire. For the next thing, I need a fingertip from each of you. It's gonna grow back, don't worry. But for the night. And he starts to cut off fingertips, if you let him, and put it into the chalice. This is gonna make you more adverse to fire. In case of pitchforks and torches or whatever they might show up with. Is everyone giving their finger, or is anyone not? I believe it hurts, but yeah, it's just pain.
Yep.
The chalice flare up in a purple smoke, and the blood disappears. You don't feel any effect for right now. But he shows it for a moment. He just snaps his fingers, and there's a small flame appears, and you don't even feel the flinch like you usually would.
Excellent. It's useful.
That's also going to help if any one of you intend to use theory weapons. Like incendiary armory, he looks a killjoy. Or in case of friendly fire.
Indeed.
Adrian says, well, I want to fight. I know I can. So.
Then you will.
Well. I learned a few things from hanging out with Brewhouse too much.
Indeed.
And I believe Killjoy would not say no to that kind of thing. And what about you, Primogen Townsend? Victor's looking worried, but he's not saying anything.
Yeah. Victor already took my pinky, right? So what is he saying? Sorry, the other dude.
Oh, Adrian is just asking if you're also in the combat squad or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and
line.
she wants to make a suggestion of calling up James.
You need James for.
So arguably, same stats, just more powerful. I couldn't think of a story to manipulate him emotionally into fighting, but
Regina says, that's easy, dear. He just needs to believe you're in danger.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, well, I've never met this what do you call it? This gangrel. I'd be like, no, this gangrel's hitting on me all the time. I can't get him off my phone. Like, I have no proof of that because, yeah, but yeah, I was gonna call him up and basically say, hey, this guy won't stop harassing me. Help me take him down.
I personally don't have anything against it, Darius says.
Sweet. Calls up, makes the phone call. I'm on combat team, no questions asked.
You called James?
Yeah.
Well, you're telling him a fib, so I think a manipulation and subterfuge.
Oh yeah, subterfuge. Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, sick. I finally get to use that shit.
Unfortunately,
So
you can't use presence through a phone. But,
yeah, well, I was gonna wait to call. No. So actually, that's one thing I wanted to ask you. So look at the map. Are we on the edge of Enfield?
right now?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the Tower Hamlets in Alex's, fortress. I keep calling it.
Okay, I want him to meet at the battlefield as soon as possible once we get there, and it's urgent. Like, it's an absolute emergency.
Like on the road to Blackmore, I assume.
Yes, yeah. Wherever combat is going to be taking place.
We can't know for sure, but it's definitely in Blackmore Village.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. But
he always seems to be able to find you as well. So.
Yeah. Okay. Creepy.
Auspex.
Yeah.
Victor, he looks worried at you and he says, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, absolutely sure.
I trust you then. He's a cunt.
Yeah. I'm assuming I'm on the phone right now, kind of eagering him, or
Well, you call him up.
Okay.
And tell him that, well, trying to lie at least, but do the roll first, I think.
Okay. So intelligence subterfuge?
Manipulation subterfuge.
Okay.
You can rouse though, if you want to.
Okay.
Hunger
gain.
Oof.
That's what I'm saying.
You might want to willpower that.
Yeah, I'm gonna willpower.
Get the bad rolls out now.
You can willpower 3 of them. All right. 43.
Just one more.
Let's see here.
I didn't do any mods.
Let's see how big of a fool this James is. It is you talking after all.
Yeah, I want to see how crazy it is. He is.
What would that be? Oh, it's probably insight.
Oh, okay.
He says,
No.
I don't know why you're lying to me, but I'll be there.
Oof.
You can hear he's interested, and you haven't called him ever for anything, so he can't really resist.
So I'm not very good at manipulation in real life, but I figured it's okay. How much does he want to get dirty versus how much does he love drama? So that's what he's kind of weighing against.
Yeah. I imagine it's something. I'm going to the village to deal with this stalker type, and he knows that you're lying, but he does not know the truth because he's not a mind reader.
Yeah.
So he's interested, and he simply says, "I'll see you there, love," and hangs up.
Thanks. Hangs up. Worst case scenario, I think between Alex and also Victor being there, we can use some sort of dominate to kind of also persuade. Because, like, I figured they knew each other for at least a year, so it's nice to have someone familiar, as much as you don't like them, having your back at least, who's if not quicker. So that's kind of the math I'm playing in my head. Anyways, that's it, guys. Thank you.
Mr. Harris, he enters the room with two other guys. They're carrying huge duffel bags, and they start putting out Kevlar armor on the table.
Okay.
We don't need that, I don't believe.
Darius
I'll
says,
take it.
"Are you sure?"
I mean, out of character, I think like the rules are basically like vampires don't wear armor because it doesn't really do anything more than that they already do. Like they already have like damage and everything like that. So I don't know. Am I wrong about that?
The vest is gonna absorb 3. If you put on the entire outfit, it's gonna absorb 6.
Oh, okay.
It's
all right.
basically
well, then I guess I do need it after all.
what Antigen is wearing. The more you put on, the more noise you make, the less agile you are.
Okay.
That's why he's putting out vests. But
Yeah.
he says if you want the leg and arm and chest and helmet, he also have that.
I'll just go with the vest. I'm not gonna need.
Well, he's got his own set at home, so he's set.
Yeah.
He will be going with a multitude of guns.
Lots of guns.
Yeah.
And I think we should appeal to everyone's strength, Darius, as he looks at Vaughn. You're in Chaos Patrol. And distractions. And basically gaslighting and bullshitting your way through the night.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Make sure to bring some tea.
You can bring some tea. I think I'll take some of that armor if that's all right. If no one else is gonna use it, if they're spare.
Yeah.
And do you want aircraft?
Are we talking real aircraft, or are we talking the appearance of aircraft?
Real aircraft.
I don't think we need aircraft at the moment.
I would have a guy who is usefully posted with the air ambulance. He can get to us quickly if needed, given the road closures. I thought we might need a way back. Perhaps you could join him. He's a amiable fellow.
All right, I could probably get to him. How big of a distraction do you guys want?
As big as you can get. But not to humans.
Okay.
I'm quite certain we'll need more than one, honestly.
Yeah. Bring it.
Hence the tea.
Usually good with coming up with shit on the fly.
Yeah.
Victor looks at you, JK. Are you sure you can do cleanup of the magnitude? How does it work on Kindred? I'm not sure how old they are, or if they're gonna ash, but
Well, worst case scenario, I'll just cut off all the skin myself.
well, that's the way to do it. I also believe it's a very, very good tactic if anyone can hold anyone down to ensure that JK can touch them. Will help tremendously.
Of course. I've seen what he can do. Just his fingers.
Well, he took out Bradford's ability to manipulate everyone.
Indeed.
So it's kind of it's a nice skill to have.
Yeah.
I'll get the vehicles ready. Darius says.
Excellent. That's what I expect. I am going to need to talk to Victor and Mr. Harris. And I also will, if he's not already done so, I'll also send a text to Marin.
You know, phones are weird with her.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So,
But
a
after
text.
a
Yeah.
couple of minutes, the
Yeah.
lights start to blink,
Yeah.
and you hear the elevator because she can't jump through the walls.
Yeah. Yeah.
She comes up, says, "Sorry, I'm late.
It's fine.
I had to feed and stretch out."
Yeah. I'm going to need to speak to you in private.
Right.
I told you this last night.
Right.
So I will need to speak to you in private along with my Tremere advisor here.
Henry says, "That's our cue," and gets up.
Yeah. And
I'll be the eyes.
if nothing else, then I believe we're ready, and we will convene at our vehicles.
Before we take that scene, Vaughn, can you do a blood sorcery ritual for me? If you're making a bit of tea.
Yes, please.
Do a rouse and then blood sorcery intelligence. Rouse and success. 5 with the Masquerade. Holy shit, with 3 dice. Okay.
Guys, I've made pictures worth of this stuff.
Well, Masquerade. Holy shit. Well, he's in the living room, I guess, where the rest of you are gathered, where the private meeting is in the soundproof room. But Vaughn he's doing that, and he's laughing maniacally as he does. You don't really notice this yourself, but it's kind of like seeing a witch over a huge cauldron just going nuts over her experiments. He seems to be in a good mood, though. And you
Gives the finger in.
you in your own
that's
head,
good.
Vaughn, it's just a beast laughing in your head. You don't notice that it's out loud.
Ooh. Tutti fruity. That's what it is. This keeps going.
Alex, you're in the room with Victor and Marin.
Marin's going to wait outside for just a second until I call her in. It's just Victor and I, and this is a very secluded private room. And he says,
Completely soundproof.
yeah, and he's leaning in close, and he says, "What is the situation with the replica?"
It's done.
Excellent.
Do you want to
I
bring
want you to
that?
continue. I want you to continue to do that. I want more than one, and I want. What is the situation with the storage of the actual weapon?
Well, it's in
I'm
my,
not taking it with me.
It's in my. Well, not my. Well, it's in the vault I built for you with the.
Yeah,
book.
don't tell me where it is. I don't want to know.
Well, it's there in case of emergencies.
Yes, of course.
Not easily accessible by physical means.
Don't make it. I want that locked away, where no one knows where it is, and no one can get to it.
Well, I'm currently
That's-
working on a key for you, but if you don't want it, I can just summon it to you.
Wait on the key. You can access it. You're the only one. I don't want anybody else. There's already a threat with this thing. It's already come up, and I think it's, how shall I put this? Too much of a temptation. Potential source of infighting in my team. So this is a weapon that has outlived its potential usefulness in light of its danger at this time. I want to continue to keep it safe. That is the priority. Not accessing it or anything else. I want it kept safe.
Well,
no questions, no exceptions, no excuses. Is that clear? If that weapon at all falls into the wrong hands, it's your head. Do you understand?
No one can get to it but me.
Excellent.
Do you want the replica?
I want
to maintain the illusion.
I'm bringing my guns to this fight. I'm not bringing the sword, but I do want the replicas in accessible locations. Okay.
He looks out at the bar where he's like, "Do you want?"
Not too accessible.
Oh,
make it look like there was an effort, right? But I want replicas, plural, in accessible locations.
Well, I made an exact replica. I'm still working on making it glow.
That's okay. The replicas don't need to be 100%, but they just need to be. They need to pass a cursory exam.
They need to appear magical as well.
Exactly, and they need to be stored in such a place as to make it look where the genuine thing would be stored. If you take my meaning, I want them to be able to be found and accessed.
The replica,
but with effort.
The replica is currently in your personal safe.
Okay.
Behind the huge painting of.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be fine. That's all. That's all I need from you for now.
Do you want me present for her?
No. Send her in.
He leaves the room. And Marion enters. She does not sit down unless you tell her to, but she's...
Marin.
My prince.
You have dealt with a particular entity in recent days, unless someone who practices arts very much like yourself. You may remember you were on border patrol for a recent ritual that we performed to rescue our dear Primogen.
Oh, you mean the white-haired bitch?
Indeed. So you will hang behind. Because I have a feeling that particular parties, such as the one you just mentioned, might be interested in stealing certain things or making an assault on this particular location. And you proved yourself worthy of fending off such an assault before. And I think you're uniquely capable with your gifts.
Well, I'll see her through the shadows, but I can assure you I can't even get in here now through the walls.
Indeed, as it should be. However, it would make me feel better if you proved yourself in such a way that I could elevate you to a place on the court.
What am I guarding?
You are doing the exact same thing that you were doing before.
Nobody gets in?
Nobody gets in. Least of all, white-haired bitch.
I was looking forward to fighting the Sabbat, but if that's your will.
I know. But I need you here, where nobody will expect you to be. And should you prove successful in the days to come, I have a place on court for you, if you'd be interested.
I like power.
I know you do.
But...
And I believe that while you have spent your previous days at a certain bar with a certain group of people.
Gabriel and I don't see eye to eye anymore.
I picked up on that.
He seems to think that we have fallen too far to be saved. I can tell you that he's calling friends and more will be arriving. He's preparing something. I don't know if it's war or just defenses.
Maren, your usefulness you will have a chance to prove your usefulness in multiple ways. You were in agreement, I noticed last meeting, with the vaccine initiative that we talked about.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. And you have a unique position inside Gabriel's little group where you will be able to keep me well informed.
No, he does not trust me anymore, but he's also very
But
loud.
he isn't going to throw you out. Not yet.
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
It's just him, Josh, and Isa at the moment.
That's okay.
But
I need eyes there too.
more are coming.
So I have those 3 tasks for you so far. And should you prove successful, and they are not easy tasks, I expect results on each of them. Should you prove successful, a promotion awaits.
I can't be everywhere at once, so I assume the priority is defense of this place while you're gone?
Correct, for now.
Oh.
And then intel and assistance on the other projects.
She cracks her knuckles and says, I'll get to it then. Can I dim the light? It's awfully bright in here.
Of course.
Is that all?
Is
my
there
friends?
any? That is all.
She bows deep, still with a kind of a flippant smile, but at least she's paying attention. And you've given her some sort of carrot, which you can clearly see is taking hold. She leaves the room and finds the closest shadow to hide in.
Excellent.
Nera, as soon as she leaves the room, she transforms into human form. And she says, when I see him, you'll hear me hoot.
Excellent. I appreciate your assistance on this.
I won't let anything happen to you. She
I know.
gently strokes your chin just a little bit and walks out the door.
Alex will rejoin everyone else at the vehicles.
Vaughn is
After telling Mr. Harris that he's of course to remain behind and do his job as well as he ever has and look after Judith and all of that.
Judith is still preparing her violin skills for some sort of concert that will happen
Look forward
at
to
some
that.
point. Vaughn is, when you come into it, he's still brewing like a witch and laughing maniacally. I don't know what the rest is doing. I imagine Killjoy's going through his various armory.
Yeah, he's gonna try and catch Alex when he can see him, though.
No, he enters the room.
Yeah. Prince, your sword,
Yes.
you taking it with you?
No. Such a weapon does not belong in this fight. It's too dangerous.
It's protected.
It's protected.
I need to update you at some point on the Nemesis situation, but that can wait.
I look forward to your report. Last night was a bit mysterious.
Last night, I'm not good at subterfuge. I don't do this double facing well. But I believe I may have talked her down from a potentially catastrophic megalomaniac event. It is, however, still a ticking time bomb.
I have no trouble believing that at all. Nothing I've received of this individual of whom you speak has given me any kind of sense of security. And I'm quickly losing my patience with the lack of usefulness that she offers.
Yes, quite. If you will, as well, do you mind just letting me forget this? And he'll take off his sunglasses. I don't want to know anything about the sword.
Victor, he's paying attention to the conversation and adding, well, she's having something immensely powerful down there. She's warded the entire place since Naomi and I visited it. I can't see through it. But I can see the entire tube station and its walls. And I can make you forget. Are you sure?
Please.
Wait. Why do you want to forget?
Because she's dangerous, and I wouldn't want this information to fall into her hands. And it's easiest to betray someone's confidences when you don't know that you're betraying their confidences in some ways. I won't act like I have done so, because in my own mind, I haven't. I'm not good at subterfuge.
Those are all great points. Is there information you have about this general warded location that you would lose if we made you forget?
Oh no, only this most recent conversation I wish to forget.
Because I would want to know all that information before we erased any kind of memory of that situation, for obvious reasons.
More memories takes more time, but I can make you forget anything you know about the sword, but that will also mean you don't actually know the sword exists.
Yeah, Naomi pipes up, and as much as I see the concern, we should do that after when we all, either just the prince, or I, whoever, we need to at least have one meeting with her before that happens, because yeah.
I understand the concern here. I just don't want to do that just yet.
Yeah.
I'm okay with granting your request. Just yet. I just want to wait just a second on it. Just a little bit, just to make sure. And he's going to look to Victor, and he says, "We'll be ready. We'll be ready to take care of you when the situation arises." And
Victor,
I just don't have all the information yet about this situation, and it makes me a little bit uneasy. Messing with your mind that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite adept at it, and it's not something I do for fun. But
yeah,
sometimes it's beneficial for everyone involved if they don't remember things. I usually only use it on mortals, but you can also put false memories in your head so you tell her lies without knowing it.
Mm-hmm.
We will make sure that another meeting does not occur until we make a final decision on this. Or perhaps we can make that happen.
He looks at Killjoy with sharp eyes and says, "Does she want the sword?"
Yes, she wants the sword. Why? Yes, of course.
Yeah, I think that's clear.
I just want it to be crystal.
Yeah.
The sword can be used for many things, and
I'm just worried about a lot with you right now. And based on your behavior yesterday.
I have the band now.
Huh?
I have the band now from Victor.
Yeah. Yes, you do. I'm worried about what changing your memories would do in that situation too. I want to make sure this is not, I understand. And he's going to put a hand on Killjoy's shoulder and look into his eye. I have never, ever used any of my powers on any member of this coterie. And I do not do that as a matter of trust. And you'll have to understand my hesitation right now in granting your request immediately. So I understand why you're requesting it, but I just want to wait a little bit longer before, make sure that this is done right.
Yeah.
And that is why you're my prince.
Thank you. I appreciate you understanding that.
Can I chime in about the same situation for a minute?
Of course.
Okay. So she likes you. She's quite fond of you. Her intentions, that's the thing. The best thing about an enemy, potentially an enemy, because we or exactly familiar with her. It's the ones that you know. It's the ones that you don't know you should be worried about. So as long as you don't go near her, I think everything will be fine. I'll make sure of that. I'll guarantee that until, because it was unsettling how much they insisted that we spoke. So I would like her in her presence, but you have to also remember those powers, like you could potentially forget everything, who that person ultimately was, like identity, what they look like also, like you can't, depending on the power, like you can't, sometimes you can pick and choose, I guess. It's not my field personally, but I admire your sense of surrender, but it is ethically unnecessary given this time.
Alex, Naomi, can you do what's inside?
Yes.
Yes.
At your auspice, Naomi.
Like wits, and then add what? Sorry.
Your auspice.
That's 2 now or 3?
2.
2. Okay. Thank you.
That's not a great roll.
Oh shit.
Bestial failure and 5 successes.
Nothing much happens, Alex. Bradford appears behind Killjoy like a puppeteer over his head with the fingers and just looking to the side, smiling at you. You should wipe him clean. Naomi, Killjoy loves Nemesis.
Ah.
But with a 5, it's a blood bond. It's not real.
Hmm. Okay. Fully good. Okay. Here's my new decision. I need some of her blood. That will make me 10 times more at ease about this character that we're facing. Killjoy.
Need some of my blood.
No, her blood.
And you want me to get it?
No. I'm just saying if that's okay. Obviously the prince can ultimately make this decision because hierarchy, but that would make me most comfortable before you got wiped or whatever.
We'll see if we can make it happen. But we have other bigger things to worry about tonight.
Exactly.
Are we good?
Yep.
Killjoy?
Good.
Excellent.
These are for you. Ammunition for your pistols.
Excellent. Thank you. It's called load that up.
Yeah.
Pop those mags in there.
Is it
Incendiary.
Yeah.
Chemically.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other type actually, but yeah.
I'm not a gun nut, so I wouldn't know.
Me neither really.
Vaughn, you come to yourself, completely missed the entire conversation in the room, but yeah, you brewed a batch that will slake 10 hunger in total.
Wow. Holy shit, that's great. What do you can buy?
What is it that you're made, actually? Is it tea? Is it, you pour it into whiskey? What's the thing here?
Lucasade.
Originally with Scarlet, she showed him how to make it into like a tea.
Yeah, she made chamomile tea always.
Mm-hmm. So he would probably have like I think a flask would be it'd be tea. It would still be tea. He doesn't know how to like revolutionize it and change its medium, but he would have like a big flask and just like pour it in there. So
a flask is not enough, but Victor, he hands you a case with like small glass bottles.
You need to think bigger.
Just very, very old school, like an apothecary case.
Ooh,
And these
thank you.
small vials.
And he just starts like filling it up, thing after thing, until he's got enough.
Can
And he's like, I got some to spare if anyone wants some. Like this is some good shit. Like
Yeah,
come on
can I help him with the process and just do it super quickly for him?
That's up to Vaughn.
Sure, go ahead.
Sure. So Yeah, she like I guess stands him up in the dirt. Just fucking fires.
JK, you sense the unseen triggers as your borrowed banshee appears.
Hello. You want to join us on an excursion?
You have one order left to give me before I move on.
In that case, follow me for now. I'll tell you when I'll give you.
As you wish. Hear the neck crackle a bit.
I'm gonna miss her. I really am.
I'm not. Oh, man.
So glad that you don't have sense the unseen. Can't see it.
Yeah.
She is hovering. You get ready. You have your bulletproof vests and Killjoy. Are you also just wearing a vest, or is this full Kevlar? You know you're not as agile in full Kevlar, but
He's perfectly quiet with the silence of death, so he'll be in full Kevlar. Yeah.
silence of death will it will break at a gunshot. But
Oh, yeah. Yes, it will.
But yes, you can stay silent if you want to, but it's a bit stiff.
Yeah.
You're not as dexterous with it on, but well, you're giving up agility for armor, really.
His plan is to be relatively far away from the action with a sniper rifle, taking down one after the other, basically. Incendiary rounds to the brain, to the heart. Just, yeah.
It's going to be a tricky thing if there's trees, but...
Yep. Yes, it is. And his infrared goggles won't help him none. He's relying on pure eyesight.
So, weirdly enough, Victor, would he have a potion on him for like that flight thing he gave to Naomi to like kind of hover in the air from like a higher altitude from a different angle?
We can make them, but you're very slow when you're flying.
Yeah, I think that's fair from a distance, as long as he's not visible. I'm sure Killjoy can figure that out.
Or you want him to fly?
Yeah, why not? A different angle. We don't have a tower nearby, so...
Well, fortunately there are no leaves on trees this time of year, unless it's a pine tree, but...
Sure, you can hide behind an oak.
Well,
or, like, yeah.
He, hands you a potion, Killjoy. It'll make you fly, it's a bit weird, but... If you're, you just have to will it. Just think of where you want to go. And your body is going there. But it's not fast, and you won't be able to use celerity. And it will last all night unless you force it out of your body.
Thank you.
Darius comes into the room, says, "Are we ready?"
We are.
Adrian she's wearing a Kevlar, and she's not her fur jacket anymore. Her attire is consisting of way more military gear, and you've never seen her look less fashionable.
Killjoy will just get like, you look good.
You too, dear. She has no helmet on, but high color Kevlar as well. Her arms are free, and she's kind of doing the boxing warm-up thing. She's apparently intending to do this barehanded. And Henry is just, he's setting up about 6 laptops in the boardroom, slowly hooking them up to things, and says, "I'll be here."
Is he playing chess online on one of them?
You each get a headset as well, and he links you guys up. Where
good.
Victor is emergency in case they fizzle out.
They don't stand a chance. I'm gonna clean this up tonight.
One thing I want to know is the story. So what kind of weaponry? Is it pistols? I know the rounds that are in them, but is it like fully automatic weapons or pistols? Or I know Naomi is using knives, but
Well,
JK's
Alex,
got his revolver.
the Webley.
Yeah.
I have in my inventory, I have a stubby AK-47. That's what I called it. I stole it from somebody, and an antigen flashbang grenade.
Be careful with those.
Definitely.
That's all good.
I have one thing also. The medicine that was for what do you call it, Vaughn at the beginning of the game, I'm actually going to give it to Killjoy and have half for myself. So I think there was like, it was what Antigen had on them.
Oh, they're power negating syringes.
Yeah, and I have them on me, and I'm offering some to Killjoy if he wants them, given a weird situation.
Yeah.
Just don't stab yourself with them.
Yeah.
Nullifying syringes.
That's the only one I'm sure it was like 3 and I never used any of them because Vaughn was fine after a while.
I think Killjoy was also stabbed with one of them. He had trouble keeping his claws out, and but that's way back.
I might keep one on me just in case, but
I'll take 2 then.
Sweet.
I'm also gonna down a blood vial because it's kindred blood. To make sure that my hunger's at 0, and I'm on that vampiric resonance again.
Vaughn, you had 10 doses. Are you giving 2 to each coterie member?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait.
Sweet.
That back up.
Also, can I give Vaughn extra shrooms that I've been growing in my lab?
Definitely.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Graciously accepted. Thanks.
I figured this is both natural and like that even matters, but
I appreciate it, Naomi. I'll put them to
Anytime,
good
man.
use. You better believe it.
I'll use the rest at clubs.
Of course.
Consider it payback for Victor.
All right.
Adrian is looking at you, Alex.
yes.
We're going to kill Judith's sire. Do you want to tell her anything?
That's a good point.
She's not really aware of what that is, but it could be her only chance of, well, not meeting her, but knowing where she came from.
If you want to, we could quickly. Victor can give out a portal if you want to address that quickly.
Oh, it's up to the prince, really. It's his ward, and she's practicing violin downstairs, but she is happy and blissfully ignorant about the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if he wants to go back quickly to kind of put that to rest, I guess.
There's so much
it.
going through his head right now. Like, he's like, when they found her, she was in a pile of bodies underground in a sewer. And she doesn't know the details of that. It's been at least the implication is that she had been made to forget how that occurred. And she's blissfully happy right now. And I'm not sure that it would help to be able to interact with that being again for her. I'm not I'm trying to weigh like what would it would mean bringing her along. I mean, potentially, because if I tell her, then she's going to want to come, and potentially if she wants anything to do with it at all. And then I have to weigh that. I have to. She's not strong like us,
Well,
and so
she would need to consume one of us to become a real kindred.
right. And I'm not ready for that to happen either. So.
Yeah. Could I try to
So
cancel Alex from it?
I think that she's fine right where she is, and
Well, she's your stepchild. I just simply wanted to, well,
I know, and my the only thing about it is that there also is a potential there. Like, would he know about the rumors about Thin Bloods being able to relieve themselves or shed the curse if they kill their sire?
it has been pointed out, and Adrian just said it as well. It's
Does that need to happen in a particular way? Like, if the sire dies, is she free of her curse?
I don't actually know. It's rumored that they have to kill them themselves, but might turn her back. I don't actually know.
Yeah. Oh,
Alex,
yeah.
But she could
Remember-
go back to.
remember how you found her. That should give you your answer.
Well, if she turns back, you can always embrace her or make her a ghoul. She can't roam free with the knowledge she has.
Yes.
No, I
And
know.
out of spite, she might turn Sabbat eventually. If given the opportunity to know about any sort of, if she feels any sense of betrayal. So politically, it makes sense to just leave her be.
I think so too. It's only the question about her, the way she is right now, her nature and everything like that that's bothering me.
Victor, he says, if I may say.
Yeah, I need somebody who is steeped in knowledge of the blood to tell me this.
She's not created like any one of us. She was not embraced. She was... Well, she's not made through magic, but she's definitely an experiment. I think the entire bunga was the experiment, or at least the failed ones. She's been embraced in an unorthodox manner. I'm not versed in fleshcraft, but I believe that Lady Blackmore has done something, because it wouldn't make sense for her to make Thin Bloods. She's not weak. She's not
Let me
that
ask
low
you
of her
one
generation.
question, Victor. This is the $1 million question for me. If we kill her sire, is there a better than average chance that this curse will be lifted from her?
It's possible, definitely. I have never seen it happen or had anyone confirm it. It's only rumors. But there is a chance. Who knows with Thin Bloods?
My
Let's leave her
prince,
be. Let's leave her be.
if I could add one more thing.
Yeah.
She is, if not my first and only pupil, I do not want her to use the works against me given any opportunity. I would like for her to stay on our side. And she
Yeah.
would recognize, if she's on our side, that they are also the enemy. The Sabbat is the enemy. She is
Yeah.
not Sabbat.
So are you staying by your recommendation that she stay here?
Absolutely. If anything, I'd like to reinforce it.
Okay. That's what we'll do then. She'll stay. I don't feel comfortable bringing her. If anything, I would want her further away from this world rather than closer to it.
I could not agree more.
Best case scenario, we stake Lady Blackmore and bring her back here.
I would like to do that. Yeah. That's why, yeah, exactly. Let's go ahead and see if that's possible. If not, we deal with it something I would like to do. Yeah.
So if you can, try not to chop off her head. If she's in torpor, she's harmless.
Okay.
It might not be actually available, that option, but we don't die. We don't die easily.
Yeah. Yeah. Although with certain rounds and everything else, it might happen anyway. And I'm certainly not going to endanger my coterie members in that way. But it's something to shoot for. Stake her, take her in torpor if possible. Will be the objective.
It's also the only legal case of diabolization that can be attempted, Victor says.
Okay.
Of course, I know that.
They're bloodhunted. Mr. Harris enters the room with about 12 guys. First him and 5, and then 6 others. They're in suits. They're having not bulletproof vests, but sap-proof vests, and you can see these guys are... They're not mall security kind of thing. These are military mercenaries. You're not used to seeing Alex have... Well, his location is secure, but apparently Mr. Harris has taken this to the next level. And he simply says, everything is ready downstairs, sir.
Excellent.
Every position has been fortified.
I'd expect nothing less, Mr. Harris.